Today, I'm going to talk about concepts of resilience and how they can be applied to community organizations. One way to look at resilience is as a system of interdependent systems. That means a shock to one system or part of a system can impact another, and so on. We experienced firsthand how these effects can cascade through an entire community during the COVID pandemic. We also saw that places that were able to adapt to the conditions created by the shock of the pandemic were more resilient. In other words, it's not just the resources within a community that determine resilience, it's the adaptive capacity of those resources that does. This model of resilience is called the Network of Adaptive Capacities, and it uses 4 broad categories. Each of the 4 capacities is dynamic, so resilience is viewed as a dynamic process in this model too. Let's look more closely at the 4 capacities. First, there's economic development. This includes characteristics like diversity of resources and equity of their distribution. Next comes social capital, which includes support systems, informal ties to other groups, and formal ties to leadership. One way to look at this capacity is as 3 types: bonding, that occurs with people who share something in common, like a religion or family; bridging, which connects one group to another group that would otherwise not interact; and linking, which creates partnerships vertically to other groups on the social ladder. A good way to understand linking is whether a group has a connection to someone in a position of authority, like a mayor or political representative. The third capacity involves information and communication. This includes not only the quality of information, but also how that is communicated through the media and who is controlling the narrative. The fourth capacity focuses on the competence of the community to solve problems, its flexibility and empowerment, and its political partnerships. Here's what the model looks like in more detail. You can see how each of these capacities has unique components, and they all interact. This model is useful for determining not only which capacity or capacities an organization has, but also where its strengths and vulnerabilities may lie. Lawrence Vail and Thomas Campanella offer some principles of resilience in their book, The Resilient City. Following these principles, it is possible to identify some tips on how to improve resilience. Number 1, advocate. Rebuilding will always require help from outsiders, so advocate for your group and the community. Keep the community's needs front and center. Number 2, build networks, horizontally and vertically, to improve your community's social capital. Those connections strengthen the fabric of your community, which will help it respond to future shocks. Number 3, control the narrative. Almost by definition, those who have power or agency will have power to control the narrative, which means they also control the recovery and resilience. If only a certain group of people are involved in the rebuilding, then only their version of the new city becomes real. So it's important to be part of the storytelling. And last, number 4, diversify. Diversity builds flexibility and creativity of thought into your system. Involve people of different backgrounds and experiences while you're problem solving to find the best solutions that positively impact the greatest number of people. So to recap, resilience is a system of systems that can be viewed as a process of interactions within a network of adaptive capacities comprised of economic, social, information, and community resources. Resilience can be improved through advocacy, building more social ties throughout and beyond the community, controlling the resilience narrative, and diversifying the people who are involved in the rebuilding efforts. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Please send along any questions. Thank you.